Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Riley if you're new here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some ideas of things you can do while you're bored at home. I made a list, we're gonna go through it. I wanted to thank the Washington County Health Department for sponsoring today's video. Later I'm gonna share a message with you about just staying safe in quarantine and just making sure that everybody is social distancing until this is resolved. So I'm really excited to share that with you as well, so make sure you stay till that point in the video. Alright, let's go ahead and get right on to the first thing that you should do while you're in quarantine. Okay, so the first thing on my list that you should do while you're in quarantine is try new recipes. Try to master your baking and cooking skills. I've seen a lot of people on TikTok and Instagram sharing stories where they made macaroons or some other kind of treat, and so that's really fun. I made two different recipes. I made orange bars, so like lemon bars but with oranges, and then this apple dessert that was so good. So I've just had fun because I'm able to, you know, watch a show or listen to a book while I do that, and it's just very entertaining and you get something at the end out of it.
It's all true. Well, it's all true. I mean, you know I ain't lying, 'cause I hate wasting time. You said soon we'll be leaving this place and alive to find.
Riley's lemon bars. Orange. They look lemon. Are they not good?
No, fine. That's how I would describe it.
Why?
They're not lemon bars.
Is that the worst part? Because you think it's gonna taste like lemon and it tastes like orange?
Probably.
It's a good use of your time and you can share it with your family. That's something I would definitely recommend. The next thing I would recommend is trying to paint or draw or teach yourself how to do that better. You can also try lettering, which is very popular, and you know, you see all the beautiful lettering, and I know a lot of you are like, oh, I wish I could do that. So now's your time. So I'm just popping in here to show you the art that I've done. I did two pieces of artwork. They took me a long time, so I'll show you the first one. This one is a Bob Ross tutorial that I followed, and this probably took me about 5 hours. So, you know, I got in like a good 5 to 7 episodes of a show I liked, but I also painted this lovely picture. So it was a lot of fun, and I got to hone a skill that I enjoy using. So this is the first one I made, and you can look up a Bob Ross tutorial on YouTube or Netflix. This other piece took me about 8 hours, and this one I found a picture on Pinterest. I usually will just look up artwork or painting in the category that I want to do, and then I will just try to copy it or just take what's into account and then try to replicate it. I don't know, it just helps me to get better at artwork and do better art. So this is the piece that I did from that. Seriously, it might be small, but it took me like 8 hours. So it was a lot of fun, and yeah, I just feel like I have something to show for the time that I use, even though I got to watch something that I really enjoy. So I definitely recommend, if you're watching a lot of shows, that you do some art while you're doing it. Thanks again to the health department for sponsoring today's video. I'm really excited to be sharing with you guys some tips to help keep all of us safe during this corona pandemic. These are the things that the health department recommends us do, not only to keep ourselves safe, but all those around us. The first thing is to stay at least 6 feet away from people as much as possible. And I know it's hard to do that, but just remember that these short-term sacrifices are going to, in the long term, help save lives. The next thing is to work from home as much as possible, to avoid gatherings, to wear a cloth face mask when you go out. Many people with COVID-19 have few or no symptoms, which means they're affecting a lot of people, like parents and grandparents, without even knowing it. Wearing a mask makes it harder to spread the virus. Whenever you go out, that's what you should be wearing. The next thing is monitoring your temperature when you're going out to work, and if you do have a temperature, to stay home. If you're sick, just stay home. That's the best thing to do right now for everybody. The next thing is to wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Then Cover your cough and sneezes with something other than your hands. Using a tissue is a great idea, and then just make sure to throw it away right after you're done. And last but not least, make sure you clean surfaces, whether that be doorknobs or your phone or computer. Those hold tons of germs, so you want to make sure you're cleaning those off so they're clean. Alright guys, I hope that you will take all these tips into account. Thanks again to the health department for sponsoring today's video and helping me share with you guys some good tips to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. Let's go ahead and get right back on into the things to do when you're bored at home. The next thing you should do, if you have ever had the desire of starting a YouTube channel, is start it right now. This is the perfect time to do it because right now it gives you a really awesome opportunity to just practice. I think one of the hardest things when you're trying to start a channel is learning to edit well and edit in your own style. Just watch a bunch of people, figure out whose editing style you like, and once you have that, just kind of try to go off of that and watch tons of YouTube videos and tutorials, and that's a great way to spend your time honing your skills as you do it. The next thing I would recommend doing is just hanging out with your siblings. This is a great time to bring families closer together, and I know lots of people have siblings but they're busy so much that it's hard to spend a lot of time with them, especially if there's like a bigger age gap. And so right now it gives us the perfect time to spend extra time with our siblings and get to know them. You know, there's only so much time where you're gonna live at home, and for me personally, I go to school in August, I go to college, and so it's kind of crazy to think about, but I want to make the most of my time, and this is the perfect opportunity for me to play an extra game with my siblings or do something nice for them. So I definitely recommend doing that. The next idea I have for you is kind of in the same vein as the last one. It's a family game night, and I think these are so fun. I love playing games, and actually a few of my favorite games that I'll just tell you right now are Code Names, so fun, Wacky 6, that one's really fun. If you're good at multitasking, I think it's like a game for you because it's, you know, if you've played Wacky 6, you know. And then the last one that I would recommend, just that's one of my family's favorites, is Secret Hitler. If you've played that, tell us in the comments like what you thought of it because it's super fun. I know the name sounds kind of weird when you first hear it. In a setting with like a bunch of people, it is so fun. So you should totally check that out if you haven't heard about it. That's just gonna give you guys something to do during this time, you know, where there's not a ton of things you can do and like go out as a family. A game night is a great idea to keep you occupied. The next thing I recommend you do is read a good book. So whether that be you actually physically read the book or you get it on Audible, read an ebook, whatever you're into, you should take advantage of this time to do that. I just love audiobooks and stories in general. 3 of my favorite apps to do like online audiobooks and ebooks and stuff is Audible, Overdrive, and Hoopla. If you've seen any of my What's on My iPhone videos, you know how much I love these. 2 of them actually go with your library, so you can just use your library card. And they have extra borrows right now because quarantine, so instead of like 10 or whatever, it's like 22, so it's doubled. It's amazing. You should check it out if that's something that you've been wanting to do. The next thing you should do during quarantine is start a journal. There's no better time than right now to start a journal, and my goodness, like, this is going to be recorded in history books, and the fact that you've lived through it, your kids and your grandchildren are going to ask you about this time when the coronavirus like made it feel like the world was ending. Like, you're gonna want to remember these experiences and the way you felt about them and what really went on, because you're not going to remember the details if you just keep it locked in your brain. I've kept a journal since I was a freshman in high school, and it's been such a blessing to me just to be able to look back on who I was and what I was going through, the struggles and feelings that I had. This is like a crazy time, but it's also the perfect time for you to start journaling and getting in that habit. So find a random notebook that's laying around your house and pick up a pencil and start writing. The next thing I recommend doing is going for a drive. I know right now it's like kind of scary to like even go out of your house, but like there's a point where you can't handle it anymore. I got 2 younger brothers, and let me just say they drive me up a wall a lot of times. So I need some time to like drive. Blasting some music and having a good time in your car by yourself is something that can like relieve the stress of all of this. The next recommendation I have is for all of my ladies out there who make lists. This is a perfect time to make your lists and go back and revisit them and add to them. I know some of you already know, but an example of some lists that you can work on during this time is your baby names list. I'm one of those people that has a list of baby names. It's kind of embarrassing talking about it, but you know, it's like fun. It's fun to think about what names you like now. You can watch all of the baby name videos on YouTube. I am guilty of doing that. I'm not planning on having a kid anytime soon. I just like thinking about it, okay? Another thing you can make a list about is like the characteristics of your future husband. I'm also one of those people. I am guilty. This is not just for the girls though. The guys can do the same thing. Characteristics for your future wife. I love doing that actually. That's something that should take you a while and just is a great thing to have at the end of the day. Set your standards high, ladies and men. The next activity you could do while in quarantine is learning an instrument of some kind. So if you have some random instruments laying around your house, I'm not sure if you guys do, but if you do, then you can practice on those. The actual instrument that I'm practicing right now is the ukulele, which is super fun. Just a great time to learn something new, and an instrument is something that will serve you for the rest of your life. Great idea, great way to spend your time. So the next two kind of go hand in hand, organizing your closet and then deep cleaning your room, so you can spend a couple days doing that. I'm weird. I actually love doing that kind of thing. Recently cleaned out my closet, so I'm not gonna do that again right away because I already did it. It was a great time. The next thing that you could do, and I've seen people all over the place doing this right now because the salons are closed, so you can cut your own hair. Cut your own hair, cut your brother's hair, cut your sister's hair, cut your mom's hair, cut your dad's hair. All of which I've done in my lifetime, some better than others. I've actually shaved my brother's head before too, which was pretty interesting. Not recently, but maybe we should do that. Maybe we should make that video. Anything with hair right now, like, you might as well. No one's seeing you for at least a month, pretty much. Now's the time. As you can see by my own choices here, I'm loving my short hair, by the way. My medium length hair, people were like, that's not short. I'm like, yeah, well, my hair was like halfway down my butt. This is short for me. So yeah, cutting your hair, dyeing your hair, doing whatever you want with your hair. You can always turn off the camera on your Zoom calls. No one has to see you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe below if you're new, and you can check out my Instagram at Rehl. And I will see you, hopefully, in next week's video. Make sure to turn on the post notifications so you're notified. Alright guys, I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!